you say that now when we've started, Karen?
I know. Have we started?
Have we started?
Yeah, I'm gonna start now. By the way, we can't see you, Isha.
It's real.
I can see you, Isha. I can see you.
So, okay.
We are live
Are
right
we
now.
live right now? Okay. It's Wednesday.
That's how you know this is real.
It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. We here. The so. It's hot. Did you have your ice cream? It's hot. It's hot. Okay, that's all I got because I. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna start. Yeah.
Rich, I
Oh,
didn't know
mate.
you had it.
My little boy's got it in him too. Every time he hears music, man, he's just like,
Yeah.
damn.
He gets it from his daddy. Welcome
Yeah.
on Wednesday, 7:30ish. You're joined with us. Quarantine before we were quarantined. The Source on Twitch. Yeah.
All these shows that are now doing their shows in their bedrooms. We've been doing this in our bedrooms.
Doing it. You
Been
know.
doing it.
We had the almanac before you lot knew
yeah.
what was going on. Okay.
Real.
Speaking of almanac,
Ooh.
Necker's got some new Back to the Future toys. Sorry, we love action figures.
Yeah, those look sick. And I am like, Back to the Future is my favorite trilogy. Yeah. I love that. If Back to the Future's on, regardless if I've seen it from the beginning or not, I have to watch it because, and this is the reason I have to watch it. It's gonna get a bit timey-wimey. If I don't watch Marty get back to 1985, I won't be born. That's simple.
It's a matter.
I'll watch it. Hell. It is, for me, it is 1985. I have to watch it and get back.
Yay! But hello, everybody. How's everybody
good.
doing? You
Yeah.
guys are alright. Yeah.
Good.
How's
I've
Sean, Keith, and Sean in the chat?
There's one Sean here.
I need to.
Yeah.
Sean!
One.
We need to give the
Brother
chat
Sean.
people.
Yeah, not your brother. Yeah.
French Sean. What up,
Fred
Sean?
Sean. I need to give the chat people like a tribe name. So like, I don't know, virtual chat tribe. No, I'll think of something better. Don't worry. Okay, let's just get into what we got going on.
Sorry, I was just going through because I'm trying to upload this on Facebook as well, and
Okay.
Bloods Are Us. I was just reading the message from Bloods Are Us. He was saying, "Hey dudes, I'm lagging on and
What up, guys?
playing catch up. Do you know on episode 85 you have a really annoying buzz noise in the background? Uh-oh. Yeah.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
We have been having
no.
some technical difficulties. We're sorry. We're sorry.
We
But
have.
we are broke and we are not sponsored.
We are.
And
Yeah.
so we are.
You know, help us with the buzzing noise if you see it again. Just give us some money.
Be real.
And
I'm
then
gonna be real. I'm gonna be real.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna be real.
Go
I'm
on.
gonna
Go on. Do
be
it.
real. Sorry,
Do
Isha.
it. Do it. Do it.
We need money. Give us money now.
You can
Give us
sponsor
money.
us. No,
Give us
we
money.
haven't set up a Patreon.
GoFundMe.
We'll set it up when
Yeah.
we've got something good to other than the podcast, something else that's good to offer you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just going
Yeah.
by what we have at the moment. We're not pros, but we're just doing what we do and what we love. So yeah.
We got there, and 85 might be a bit sketchy, but you've got the other ones. Can't think of
There's
the
still
number right now.
80,
but 84. So 84
Yeah.
that are all right. Okay, and this one's good.
Bloods.
Okay, let me touch wood just in case.
Let me move my phone away.
Speaking of Bloods,
Yes.
if you guys don't know, listen to Bloods Are Us. Bloods Are Us. They are sick.
Let's go.
We had Nana on our podcast. I can't remember which number it was actually, but he was a guest. They're really good, man. They're really sick.
They are.
We need to have them on again. Actually,
Yeah,
that was a while ago.
definitely.
I know. We'll make it happen. We will. We will. But
Hey.
hi, Blood.
Yeah. So we're all good.
Okay.
Did we answer your question? If we're all right?
Ooh.
I think we're just going on
Yeah,
tangents on this episode. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
it's been a
nodded,
tangent.
So you know, I kind of thought that you
Yeah.
nodded, so I was like, yeah, they're fine. Okay, so,
All right.
so what's next? As I have
I'm
a hot
cool.
flush.
Yeah.
Thank you
Good,
for
good,
asking.
good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get on with the news then. Some shocking, crazy news at the moment going on right now.
Dun, dun.
Breaking
News, everybody.
Ruby Rose
Yeah.
exit Batwoman just before season 2. What the hell?
Why? I haven't seen season 1, but
Yeah,
why?
it's crazy.
I've seen one episode.
And was that that
Like,
wasn't the
why?
episode with the crisis, was it? Because you're still waiting for that. Oh, you did watch it.
Do you know what?
Yes.
Let me tell you about this. Wait, look, let me tell you about this now.
I know.
So, I waited weeks.
By the way, guys,
Don't let him get to clapping when man
if you're
gets
listening
mad,
to
man
us on
gets to
audio,
clapping.
you can see us on video as well. Or you can see us live on Twitch on Wednesdays around 7:30ish, or you can just find us on YouTube. Carry on.
So as Kieran continues to slap the shit out of you,
Right.
carry on, guys. Yes.
So, Crisis is finally on the Flash and Arrow and Legends in this country.
Hmm?
So I thought, let me watch. Oh, and Supergirl. So I watched the Supergirl, and this isn't actually about Crisis. This is about how they do things in this country. This is so. Supergirl one came. I was like, cool, shit, get out of the way. And then I thought, okay, maybe I can watch the Batwoman one. Batwoman, oh, yeah. They basically put me for. Whereas all, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Richard is frozen.
We can
Yeah, I can
see
really
you.
see and hear you.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead. Yeah.
they all right. They put it. They put all the others are on Sky One. Batwoman is on E4. So I was like, I had to wait weeks and weeks. I'm checking every week to see when episode 9 is on. For Bat on Mondays, the week we're in now on Monday, I was okay. Let me when it's gonna happen. And E4 has it listed. Episode 9 is the episode. They're not even showing it, and I'm like, really now?
Oh, E4.
You don't want to promote it. Pissed me off. So I
We are losing you a bit.
went up to my room, got in there. Like, yeah, this is a confession. I did it illegally. Oh, no.
Yeah, we
Okay.
unfortunately we actually got the incriminating part, but
We got the lead up to it.
we got
and
the
then
lead up to it.
There was a small bit that dropped out, and then it was like, I did it illegally.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you see that I just lost the whole team. I'm just trying to get everyone back. Hey. I don't know. It's jinx today. It's really jinx today. Yeah, we're still live. So there's no actual reason why she left. There's no one's actually said why. But it could be a few things. Yeah, he's back.
Horrible.
He's back.
So
From outer space.
there could be a few reasons why.
I'm not back.
Okay. But I can.
So there's a few reasons why she could, she might have left. She did have an accident while shooting a few months back, so it could be an issue with that. She's like she started off in movies, and I don't know if you heard, but there was a lady who just when Star Trek Voyager was starting, they filmed a pilot with another lady, and she was a movie star as well, but she couldn't hack the just the schedule of being on TV.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. You're much better now and clean and
Yeah,
clean.
I'm using my phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's much better.
Kudos to the phone. Okay, cool. Yeah, go on. As you were saying, so she couldn't hack the kind of
the
schedule,
TV
show.
schedule.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So it could be something like that because she just came back from she just came off starring in movies as well. Or it could just simply be trolls as well. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like her acting in this series, so it could be that. There's no actual.
Right. I was wondering if it was the trolls, because I'm gonna go back to my rant in a minute, by the way. Anyway, so I don't know if you guys have read BatWoman, Kate Kane BatWoman, but especially like Rebirth time. She Ruby Rose portrayed her really, really well. She's that kind of militant, no nonsense Batwoman. Yeah. I haven't watched the show. I've only seen her in the crossover last year and the crossover this year, and I thought she was really good. She's actually one of my favorite things about it.
Yeah.
I think I only just found out today after watching the last episode of Crisis that she's left the show.
Yeah.
It's a bit sad. I was like, what?
Yeah.
They're talking about replacing her as well. I'm like,
with who though? Because she fits the role like really well, kind of thing.
The other thing.
Yeah.
This is the other thing. When I read, because I read it on the BBC website, they were talking about getting someone who's actually part of the LG, and I'm like
again.
I'm like. And I honestly feel like that's why she's leaving. I really do.
What? Say that again. Sorry, I missed that.
They want to get someone who's actually part of the LGBTQ to play Kate.
But she is.
Isn't she LG? She's LGBTQ.
Well, that's what I thought. But apparently,
so some of the trolls,
Sorry,
some of the trolls were trolling because she's bisexual. She's not actually just gay for some reason.
Oh. Right. That's where I have a problem right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, the trolls are ridiculous. Like, it really peed me off when I heard this, and I was thinking, oh, maybe it's the trolls that made her stop. Because I think she's sick. I haven't watched all of it. I've seen some of them. She's not too bad, but it's like. Trolls are just, oh man, the things that people were complaining about, for me, it's not valid, man.
I feel like these days, it's like whenever, in any situation these days, and not just the LGBTQ, just people who've got phones and Instagram.
Yeah.
And Twitter.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, whenever they don't like, this is what bugs me. Whenever somebody does something, movie, game, whatever, somebody does something, trolls get, oh, don't do that. They're like, instead of just doing what they already had planned, they listen. Whereas back in the day, before we had all this, we take what we got. You know, I mean,
yeah. You can have your opinion, but it's just like, just calm down.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean,
even if like everyone's got an opinion, it's the fact that I think part of the problem with the trolls are the people who listen. Like, if I was ever in a position to do whatever, if we're doing this show, and people were like, oh. Red Hood, I don't like that you said that. Well, I'm like, well, fuck it, don't watch.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I've only seen a few episodes. I've literally. I haven't stopped watching it because I don't like it. I've just stopped watching it because I've just stopped watching all of it. Like after for some reason after the Infinity, after the Crisis. After the Crisis, I think I just missed a couple of episodes and then just haven't gone back on it. So I used to watch The Flash. I used to watch, obviously Arrow's done now. I used to watch the other one where they're flying through different times. Bun Black Lightning. And then
Then there's fighting words. One was Kieran's like, all right, I'm gonna get you. Fight.
Yeah, I just stopped watching all of them. So yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's a real shame because, again, I haven't watched them like all of them.
Yeah.
I think I've watched like 1 or 2 episodes, and I think she like really suits the role.
Yeah,
like, she's really good at the role. She's really good in the role.
I think so.
And for whatever reason that she's leaving, like you said, like if it is an injury or she doesn't like the scheduling, then I can understand that. And I do hope it's not trolls, because it's just like the woman's she's barely just done season 1. You know what I mean? You know, season 1's like, you know, kind of like the pilot of all things. It's you know, the nitty gritty gets into season 2. That's when you get to see an actor at, you know what I mean? Getting a good source. So yeah, it's a shame kind of thing. But I understand it's like, in terms of the scheduling, I understand like if she's a movie actress, that's a slower pace. You get more time, kind of, and then
and they do
obviously TV.
Sorry, I was gonna say, and to carry on from what you're saying, to link to that, they do shoot in Vancouver as well. So they're in Canada. They're not in LA or anything. I think some of it they do shoot in LA, but yeah, it's all in Canada. Most of it's in Canada as well. So she did give out a statement actually. This was on, I think it was it on Hollywood Reporter. So this is her quote. She says, I have made the very difficult decision to not return to Batwoman next season. This was not a decision I made lightly, as I have the utmost respect for the cast, crew, and everyone involved with the show in both Vancouver and in Los Angeles. I am beyond appreciative to Greg Berlanti, Sarah Sacher, and Caroline Dries for not only giving me the incredible opportunity, but for welcoming me into the DC universe. They have so beautifully created. Thank you, Peter, Ruth, and Mark Podolsk.
We'll take that.
And the teams at Warner Brothers and the CW who put so much into the show and always believed in me. Thank you to everyone who made season 1 a success. I am truly grateful.
Oh, bless her.
Yes.
I know. So who's going to play her now?
No word.
I don't think they've announced that. It's just, I think the news at the moment is the fact that she's just stepped down. So I suppose they'll hold casting calls and. But I honestly think it's a shame for the show. I think it's a shame for the Arrowverse.
Yeah,
bro. I just think it's a shame. Ruby Rose is just dope in general as well.
Yeah, she's a really good actor. Like, come to Marvel, babe.
And she was
got plenty of gags.
We'll see her there. I bet we'll see her there.
She was really happy about it as well. Because I remember when she first came on, like she was like ecstatic, and that was like her character kind of thing. She loved that character. So I do really think it might be the accident that happened. Maybe that's kind of stopped her. I hope. I know it's bad.
The one where the stand one.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I kind of hope it's that one, because I think if she's been fired or if it's the trolls, then I think that's even worse. Like, because but yeah, I don't know. It's sad, man.
Yeah. Well, if it is the accident, help.
That woman.
Yeah, and if it is the accident, I hope you get better.
Yeah, defo. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got Ruth on the sauce.
You my rant. I need to get out of my system.
Go on, do your rant. Go on.
Go on, do the rant.
Do a little bit calmer now. So,
okay.
I waited weeks to watch Crisis on. Not even weeks. It's been months. It's been about 5 months, and it came to this country late. I don't like streaming things because it's becoming increasingly long these days. I don't have a VPN yet, and blah 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 blah. So it all finally came. These shows finally came in. The stupid country finally got it. But Batwoman was put on E4. All the other shows were Sky 1. I finally watched Supergirl episode. I can't stand that show. And then
no one
episode,
can.
Boy.
Yeah.
I watched that one. Then episode 2 would have been on E4 in Batwoman. So I'm scrolling for weeks, checking the schedule to see when they're going to show it. It's supposed to be episode 9. Finally got there. On Monday, I checked when it's supposed to air. It's supposed to air this coming Sunday. But then I looked at the episode, like what the description of the episode, and it was the episode afterwards. After credits. And it's like, it's such a mistake. It's like blatantly E4 swooped in to get this show because they knew it would get the ratings, but they purposely didn't show Crisis because they knew, or as far as they're concerned, oh, that would be promoting. This is why I assume they did. That would be promoting the Flash and Arrow and Legend.
That's dumb. I mean,
and I'm like, it's stupid. Hey, if you just put the show on, if you decided to buy it, put the Crisis on because your viewership would have been sick.
Yeah.
Like you would have had, assuming they still run on, I don't know, ratings or whatever. But I think that was just such a spiteful bullshit punk move to do.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Mad fan. If you're watching Batwoman, you're a fan of everything else. So everybody in this country who doesn't do it a certain way is gonna, it was just a piss take. So anyway, I ended up finding it online. I actually had to go online and find it, and I found it and I watched it. I wasn't happy with some of the decisions they did in that episode, but I was saying that. Okay.
That's
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you need to watch it.
You force our hands. You do. Force our hands. Force our hands. Oh.
Damn you, television people.
Okay, so next is Netflix. The Umbrella Academy Season 2 is out on the 31st of July, 2020.
Oh my god. About time.
Yeah.
About time.
They can't go anywhere they can't do a press run.
They did a trailer. A trailer of them. You know the scene where they're all in their rooms as their characters, and they start doing the I think I'm alone. Yeah. So the actors did it in their own rooms, in their own houses, and obviously it started with the big guy, who's like,
that guy's
and then
massive still,
it goes to the
even without the makeup.
He is huge, and he's huge, and then all the other cast members were doing their little dance thing, and I was like, oh
yeah, it was nice.
It's so cute, and then one of them had that umbrella.
They actually did that.
Yeah. Because they couldn't do anything, like you said. They can't do a press thing or do, you know what I mean. So it's just like, and then one guy had the actual umbrella, and he swirled it around. And he was like, Umbrella Academy, July 2020. I was like, it was so cute.
You have seen it, Karen, right?
So
yeah, man, I watched Umbrella Academy.
No, we got to check.
You got to check.
Sometimes,
got to double check.
I watched it, man. It's cool. I watched it.
Man's like, I watched one episode.
You asked me the same thing about The Boys last week, you know? Like, I watched it.
The Boys are coming out in July as well, so we're going to have a double.
It's going to be a super July, you know?
I know. Just get through June.
For real. So
we're definitely excited.
If you guys come up, man, if you're listening to this podcast, you've got to have watched The Umbrella Academy, because that was probably one of the best comic book TV series on TV for a very long time, I can say. Very long time.
And I'm going to spoil it. Mary J. Blige is all up in there, okay? I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what? For a woman who said you don't want no drama in her life, she
drama.
I'm cosplaying that when we
get for real. For real. That's sick.
I know. No, I can't wait for it. It's going to be amazing.
I can read the synopsis if you haven't.
Looking at me. So son keeps looking at me because, like, obviously he's hearing every other word. I'm just spouting random things like, if we get to Comic-Con and Mary J. Blige, and he's like,
what
are you talking about, Daddy? I hope he's. Well, actually, it's not for. These is not for kids.
It's not for kids.
This is not for kids.
It's okay. Just tell him to watch Avatar and learn from Aang and the Airbenders, okay? Go watch it on Netflix if you haven't seen it already, because you just need to watch it or change your life. It's just changing lives. Anyway, what's going on?
Synopsis. On the same day in 1989, 43 infants are born to random unconnected women who showed no signs of pregnancies the day before. 7 are adopted by a billionaire who creates the Umbrella Academy and prepares his children to save the world. Now the 6 surviving members reunite upon the news of their father's passing and must work together to solve a mystery surrounding his death. But his strange family begins to come apart due to their divergent personalities and abilities, not to mention the imminent threat of a global apocalypse.
Go ahead.
Their dad. Hold up. He is Professor Charles Xavier, but honest. Slightly, because he's still trying to do.
Actually, no, he wasn't really, because he still did a shady thing. But still.
He Jean Greyed the last. He basically Jean Greyed the last girl.
Spoilers, by the way.
I feel like he's a distant cousin. It's like Uncle Xavier.
Alright. Speaking of distant cousins, Star Trek. CBS All Access has announced that they've got a new Star Trek series called Star Trek Strange New Worlds. If you guys have been watching Star Trek Discovery, you would know that this is a story about Captain Pike and Spock and the first officer, number 1, which I find weird because they never actually say her first name or her name, but saying that, I don't even know her name either.
Number 1.
I was supposed to research that before coming live, but you know. If you don't know, Captain Pike, he was the captain before Captain Kirk on the Starship Enterprise. What actually happened was they filmed a pilot to Star Trek, and Kirk wasn't in it. It was Captain Pike and Leonard Nimoy as Spock. That episode got wasn't accepted. I forgot I think they took a while for them to actually get it back on. There was so much stuff going on at that time, but they finally managed to get Star Trek on. And what they actually did was they kept that episode and put it in a later episode. And they kind of like it was like a flashback episode, so they'll go back to when because Captain Pike came back in an episode, but something that happened to him, so they went back and did like flashback episodes. So yeah.
Okay. Yay!
What do you guys feel about this Strange New Worlds?
Okay, so I don't mind the prequels. I don't mind them. I just don't like when they go so far back when it's kind of already been done. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like...
For me, I think I finally found out what it is about the prequels. About prequels that I don't like is that you know what's not gonna, what isn't gonna happen. So, like, if you...
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, say you know a character's going to die. And that character is in the prequel for a certain amount of time. You know their fate. You know that if they have... Anything that kind of expands on the character, like a dream, like a goal, whatever. Like, but, you know, it's not going to happen. The other thing I don't necessarily like about prequels sometimes is how they would use that as an excuse to retcon.
And they always do a retcon somehow.
I mean, if there was like a segment of a prequel that directly links to something that's brand new that's coming that we just haven't seen, like, you know, like a piece of the puzzle, then that's fine. But
the thing is, I like Anson Mount. I like Anson Mount and Ethan Peck. They are good at their roles as Captain Pike. When Captain Pike was on Discovery, I did actually really like those episodes, and I think he portrays them well. I just, like you said, I just feel when you got a prequel, you know what's not going to happen, and then you're kind of expecting like little Easter eggs and they already did that as well in an episode of Discovery. So yeah, I'm like, I don't know, but I do kind of like the way that they've done Discovery in a sense that they've pushed them to the future. Yeah, but I know that wasn't. It doesn't seem to be something that they had planned from the beginning.
And
so
they need to actually open the can of worms that is this Star Trek Discovery and just like I need them to finish that off because I feel incomplete. Because they went off and did a madness, and I'm like, firstly, I really wanted to see your doppelgangers, the evil doppelgangers of you lot. I really wanted that. And then 2, where'd you go? Yeah. What you doing? What's happening?
Well,
How far into the future have you gone?
We still might see that because I don't think they officially said it, but I remember hearing or reading somewhere that there is something going on with the Section 38 series.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that will be like I forgot the character's name actually.
I know the people all in black. Yes.
Yeah. But it will be her series. What's her name?
The woman who's the evil one.
Yeah.
And she helped everybody. I can't remember her name. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Go on, Kieran. Kieran's like,
even when you started this conversation, I've been trying to think of her name. Like,
yeah.
I can't remember.
And all that comes to name is Ming Na. I'm like, no, it's not Ming Na. It's
Michelle Yao. That's it.
Yes.
Michelle Yao.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yay.
So we're gonna get Discovery season 3 now.
Yeah.
Strange New Worlds and the Section 31.
Okay. Well, you know,
when many different places, it's confusing.
Yeah. I mean, I like.
You're not sure Picard is part of this. Is it not? Is it?
No. Yeah, that's the thing.
Does that mean it's not? Does that mean that this one?
It's supposed to be canon.
Is it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be canon.
Oh my god! I gotta go back and watch all of the Star Trek now.
That's a good mission to get into, man.
Yeah, oh my days. I see what you did there. Energized. I see what you did there. That's why you come here for the jokes. There we go. Okay, what we got next?
Okay,
we're gonna go back and watch all of Star Trek.
Yeah. Furiosa to be recast for Mad Max Fury Road prequel.
Well, yeah, she has to because, she was the one who was going to help her people stop eating skin and learn to eat fruits. So she needs to come back.
Yeah.
Because she was a badass. She got one arm and it's great.
Oh, yeah, she had one arm, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch Mad Max?
I did. That was a sick film, man. I did actually like that film.
Watch it, Kieran.
No.
Yes, I did.
Watch it. Watch it tonight.
I've watched it. I've seen it like.
Not the Mel Gibson one.
Nope.
Those ones was sick still. But Mel Gibson's an idiot now.
Mel Gibson, I'm talking about the one with Bane. Right?
Yes. The one with Bane. Yes. The one with Tom Hardy.
All in there like, you can't do this to these people.
I thought it was really hilarious because just like halfway into the film, he had like a mask on his face. I was like, really? You can't give the man a break, okay? Give the man a break. Okay, but yeah, I mean, like, I feel like they need to bring like most of them back, and I need like, if we see if they're gonna do like is this a prequel or a sequel?
So it's a prequel. It will be a prequel, and it won't be Charlie Theron anymore. They're gonna just cast someone else. Basically, George Miller, the director, he said, for the longest time I thought we could just use CG de-aging on Charlie's, but I don't think we're nearly there yet. Despite the valiant attempts on The Irishman, I think there's still an uncanny valley. Everyone is on the verge of solving it, particularly Japanese video game designers, but there's still a pretty wide valley, I believe. So basically he's saying that he doesn't believe that they can do the de-aging on Charlie Theron.
Why the hell are you going to do a prequel? Just do a sequel, then you don't have to age defy her.
Did she die? Did she die in
what, Mad Max?
Yeah.
No, she became the ruler of the...
Hang on a sec.
The thing.
in this prequel, how many years? How old is she supposed to be in it?
Well, there's no detail on that, on any of that.
I just think back in the day, I can't remember what I was watching where they did this recently as well. But back in the day, they would just get the actor to dress
Young.
Yeah.
and do stuff with their voice to indicate that they're younger.
Yeah.
And I feel like Charlize, however you say her name.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, Charlize Pheromones. She looks young enough. She looks young enough for them to throw on some makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Portray a
know why
younger
they
version of herself.
Yeah.
just don't put her in prosthetics.
But
Just put her in,
Or
like,
even that.
makeup artists are brilliant. Like, have people not seen them? I've seen women turn themselves into Drake with makeup. Like, it's just.
I have seen white women go black with makeup.
That's
Just
there we
saying.
go. Don't do that, by the way.
Yeah.
Richard's like, I'm leaving.
This is the job. It's done. It gets done.
Do not catfish yourself or blackface yourself. Anyway, but yeah, no, they've got like makeup artists that can do amazing things, and I think what's upsetting is that the technology aspect of it is like, we're going to heavily rely on VFX, and I was like, but makeup artists are so good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
and prosthetics are so good, so you can just put her in a prosthesis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's fine. But why do a prequel? We know what happens.
Yeah.
Everything gets dried up and ugly. Oh, the man that freaked me out is there. And,
On effects, real quick on the things like effects. I feel like Hollywood is relying too heavily on computerized stuff in general as well. Like back in the day, Star Wars and all those kind of other fantasy movies where we had and like Gremlins and stuff. If they made Gremlins now, I guarantee there will be a horde of Gremlins CGI.
Yeah.
But back in the day, we had like little robots,
Puppets.
Yeah.
All of that.
Well,
Yeah.
In terms of R2D2, they found a small person and put him in this thing and let him run around in it. They used actual, I don't know what they used to make it, but they had actual stuff on set that would get your clothes red. Now, movie it was, but it's just like CGI blood, and it's just like. And back in the day, they would just use makeup to make someone either look older or younger. And he played old white men.
I know.
Without CGI, can we go back to them times and just actually put in some work instead of saying, "Oh, we can't do it because"?
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. I really thought it was a sequel because it would have been nice to have that kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because again, it's just with the prequels, we know what's going to happen.
Depending on, I don't know. I don't know. Do you reckon they could do her like younger? It depends how young they're gonna do her. Like for the sequel, she's 44 years old. I think she has the look to kind of make her look a bit younger. I don't think you need to go wild on the de-aging with her. But like you said, with good prosthetics and good makeup, she can look younger, man.
Yeah, I mean they did the rubbish. I didn't see it. Gemini film with Will Smith made him look younger.
Oh no, that wasn't fine. That wasn't fine.
Okay, I saw the trailer. Maybe it looked fine because it was moving quickly.
So everything, it's like you should said everything was like this.
Yeah. No, that wasn't good.
Okay.
That wasn't fine.
Yeah, that looked good. That looked good. Yeah.
But it's all
don't
blurry.
do it like the Gemini film.
Yeah.
But if because obviously in the movie Furiosa is like she's like big sister, so she's probably in like her mid-20s.
Yeah.
Roughly in the movie. And like
okay.
all her other sisters are like, you know, like obviously when they do that sacrilegious thing of like you just hit 18 or you just hit 16 and you know the weird guy with the face mask is going to impregnate you with his pus body. Gross. Watch the film, it's really good. But yeah. But yeah, it's just, you know, I mean, unless they take it back to when she's a kid and then like she sees how it all got to this kind of Mad Maxian stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not even about her. It's not even about Furiosa. It's about Mad Max. So.
Yeah. Well, this one I think.
No, I just want to know: is Mad Max supposed to be in this prequel?
I don't think so. I think this is actually it could be.
It's just that he didn't meet
it's a
them
Mad
until
Max prequel. Yeah.
But he didn't meet that character until that movie. So
yeah,
that's what I was saying about prequels and retcons.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Oh well.
from this one.
Never mind. Yeah, might have to skip this one. No.
No, I don't know. I like the director, and Mad Max was pretty good. And I don't really have that much. There's not like that much history with Mad Max as well. So, other than obviously the Mel Gibson ones. I don't know. It could be one where I'm interested in into watching.
I need a trailer.
So actually, it is a Furiosa spin-off. So it will be just her. It won't be It's Mad Max Furiosa, basically.
Oh, right. This is like a Harley Quinn. Here we go.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it. I do like Furiosa, but okay, we'll see.
So before we get on to comic news, there's one quick one that we need to get through, and that's Swamp Thing on CW. Basically, this. Yeah, about time, exactly. Quickly, it's not a season 2. It's still being cancelled, but they're just putting it on CW. Me personally, I hope that people do watch it on CW and bring the ratings up, because that series, I watched it through and it was sick, and out of anything that deserves a second season. So I do hope this helps it to get another season.
Watch it. Go.
CW, and I think all the new stuff, Swamp Thing, what are they called? I was going to say Umbrella Academy,
Doom Patrol,
and Teen Titans, or Titans. I love those 3 shows. I thought those 3 shows were sick. We need more of those and less of the other stuff.
I too agree with the Teen Titans or Titans, and I need to see Swamp Thing. I haven't seen it.
I'm watching Swamp Thing. It's just that I didn't have a platform to watch it on, because again, if they forced my hand.
There we go. Yay, CW Swamp Thing. I have a really good friend who says that Swamp Thing is really good.
Swamp Thing.
There you go.
You know what? It was a good horror. If you're into horror, you'll definitely like this, because there were some crazy bits in there, and you're like, I didn't even believe they'll put something like this in the series. But
you know what? That's what I was gonna say. I feel like because CW has, I don't know what the time slot is for these shows, but like Swamp Thing was on a platform where
it was on a streaming.
On Netflix.
It was on their streaming.
It was on a streaming platform. If they put that on TV,
I hope they don't do that. They shouldn't do that, man. I really hope that those times are gone now, where they put.
I'm sorry, but judging just by the cartoons that they give kids these days, and I know it's kind of different, but people are mad soft these days. I feel like coming up, 90s, early 2000s, things were okay, but people are just soft these days. They want to.
I got something to tell you about a certain cartoon later, but we'll get on to that in reviews.
Intriguing.
I don't have a beard, so I'm just gonna play it.
I do love your hair, by the way. It does look sick.
Yeah, it looks dope.
Oh, thank you. I love you lot's beard. Oh, you lot have been here since I had shaved head to long hair.
Shaved head, dyed head, braid,
everything.
A typical black girl, just all the hair. And I love you lot's beards. I'm very happy every time I see you lot. They're like,
my cousin called me Moses today.
That was jokes.
I definitely need I need my barber, man. I'm missing my barber. I'm definitely missing my barber.
Barbers around the world are just holding their razors like, Sue. Sue.
Growing your hair back in any way, shape, or form, even if you want to touch up. Tell them touch up the sides.
Just shape up. I just need a shape up.
When barbers, I used to go there when I used to have my afro out just to get my beard lined up. They get happy when they see you walking there with an afro, boy. I'm like, you need to fall.
Back it up.
Don't get too excited, dude.
Alright. I come out here bald, you come out dead. That's what I'm saying.
There we go. That's it.
Alright.
There we go. Okay, what we got next?
Speaking of coming out dead, let's move on to the comic news.
Comic news.
Diamond is sticking with Wednesday on sale dates.
Okay.
So this is in reply to DC. They're still doing their Tuesday industry-wide on sale date. So basically DC have said that because obviously with the pandemic, DC Diamond, the distributors, they weren't distributing comics obviously because no shops were open. So DC moved on to a couple of different other distributors, and they changed it to Tuesdays instead of Wednesdays, because Wednesdays is when comics come out. But DC wanted to bring in line a line with book trades and home video markets, because those come out on Tuesdays. So DC wanted to bring out the comics at the same time as those. But now, obviously, everything's kind of slowly getting back to normal. Diamond is saying that they're going to stick with Wednesdays release dates, like it always has been. DC has said if you want, you can release your comics on Tuesdays, or you can do it on Wednesdays. So, but yeah, Diamond's sticking with the Wednesdays.
I feel like mommy and daddy was just fighting over the children.
Yeah.
It's like, just pick a date.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the best thing you can do is just step aside, let them do it.
I'm just going to Abigail's house because all of this arguing smash. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, just give us the comic. Yeah. Just give us the damn comic.
If you...
It's just been long.
Say it again.
I was just saying, stop being long. Them, the people.
Yeah.
Just
yes.
get on.
All right. So if you had a comic shop, then would you release your DC comics on Tuesdays, or would you wait till Wednesdays?
Do you know what? I liked Wednesdays for comic book day. It just seemed like a nice medium. I don't know. I feel like because Tuesday is pretty much the beginning of the week, going to get comics is just a bit. I don't know. It just doesn't seem. I don't even know how I'm trying to articulate this. I prefer Wednesday. Wednesday just seems right. Wednesday the comic books you're closer to the weekend to get through. Yeah. Tuesday it's kind of like
yeah. And Wednesdays is such a staple. Like they've been doing Wednesday for so many decades.
It's for 20 years, I think it has been. It's been going on for 20 years.
I mean,
I was thinking, if it ain't, were you about to say it?
There we go. Just say it.
If it ain't broke,
There we go. You know what I mean? And having to do a DC thing that I'm gonna have to all right, cool. All the DC people, I'm gonna have to remind them, come here on Tuesday. Come here. That's 20 years worth of work. Just take it out on a Wednesday.
To be honest as well, I feel like, because I get what DC are doing, branch out and do their own things, but let's be real. We don't just read DC comic books. DC, you don't own the industry of comics.
No.
So if you're releasing your comics on Tuesday, unless there's something like Batman Damned, remember how that was just crazy. Unless there's something like that, we have to get it then and there.
Yeah.
Gonna pick everything up on Wednesday anyway.
Yeah, you might as well.
Sean was saying. Friend Sean was saying. Remember when it used to be Thursdays in the UK? When Thursdays were the days when comics used to come out. Back in the days when we were, when Orbital was on. What's that street called? Was it? No, not Old Compton Street.
It was the one next. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was the one where you're coming in to where Tottenham Court Road is, but before Tottenham Court Road. Yes.
Planet.
For Forbidden Planet used to be somewhere else as well.
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah.
I used to really like that Forbidden Planet. The
yeah,
I really liked that.
Yeah, me too. It felt good.
It felt homely. Sorry. Now it's just so. Every time I'm in there, I'm like, you lot ain't fans. You're fake. Where were you lot when I went to talk about comic books in school? You lot weren't there.
I know. Yeah.
And the girls. Where are all these girls coming from? Girls in the comic book shop. What the shit?
I know, right? We've been here for time. I was a Tamagotchi girl before the Tamagotchi people.
I digress. No, I don't remember the Thursday.
I'm old enough to
I remember Thursdays. Those were the days.
Those were.
Oh well. Staying on the subject of DC, kind of switching things around. DCeased Hope at World's End is a new digital first spin-off. So
what's with the World's End thing? Star Trek World's End. This is the World's End. Carry on.
So has anyone been reading DCeased?
No.
I read the original. I got the graphic novel. The DCeased was sick. I haven't read the ones after it. I forgot what they're called, but they're supposed to be really good.
So,
I'm just gonna get the graphic novel.
We've got actually today we've got Unkillables was out, and DC's Hope at World's End. That's a new one, but this one is a digital only release. And this is something that DC has announced that they're going to do. So this is coming from CBR.com. DC has announced a new addition to its digital first catalogue. DC's Hope at World's End by writer Tom Taylor and artist Dustin Nguyen, and Renato Guarez and Sermaine Di Guandomenico and Marco Fila. Goes on sale. Jeez. I'm sure I butchered someone's name there.
No, we love it. We love it.
I would have read them, but I can't read the script today because I'm using the phone.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Goes on sale digitally today, and is a spin-off of the hit DC series that documents the events that took place on before Earth fell to zombie anti-life equation. So DCeased Hope at Earth's End follows Superman and Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, Stephanie Brown, Wally West, Jimmy Olsen, and more.
Sorry.
You said the name. You said the name.
Wally West.
Superman.
Yeah.
No. Is this the prequel comic?
So this...
Is this like...
You didn't let me finish.
Sorry,
so DCeased Hope at World's End follows Superman and Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, Stephanie Brown, Wally West, Jimmy Olsen, and more, and takes place in the span of the DCeased issue 5's time jump. It will publish digitally twice a month and run for a total of 14 chapters. So this is what Tom Taylor said before you, because I'm still explaining it. There was a point in DC's where we had to make a decision to skip weeks of losses and triumphs and heroism, or our first mini-series wouldn't exactly be a mini-series, but we knew we had a larger story to tell, so we seeded plots we could expand on and deliberately left huge characters off the table for the future. The future is here. With
right.
Go on.
Sorry, go on.
Alright, with Hope at World's End, we finally get to tell the tale of what Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Black Adam, Wink, the Airy, Martian Manhunter, Black Manta, Steph Brown, Robin, Superboy, and more did to save as much of humanity as they could. And Super Sons fans won't want to miss the apocalyptic adventures of Damian and John as they stand up to the worst crisis on the Earth has ever seen and take their first steps on the road to becoming the next world's finest.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. 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 Okay.
Right?
It's all
Got
good
it?
now. It's all good.
Good.
It makes sense now. I thought they screwed themselves over because I was going to get all up in that shit and just tell you about yourself, but no.
Sweet.
I could feel the rant coming. He was like,
Superman.
What?
So what, wasn't Superman in this? I didn't read this DC, so...
Rich, especially you getting into DC now in the recent year or so it's been, you would love DC. It's so good.
I was watching a little plug for Comics Explained, but I was watching videos of his about the Unkillables, which seemed like it was actually pretty sick.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's like, they did Marvel Zombies, and obviously like DC is very clever because I always used to think, why hasn't DC done a Civil War? And I was like, wait a minute, that was Injustice.
Yeah.
And then I was like, they haven't done a Marvel Zombies. DCeased is like basically their Marvel Zombies, but it's not. They're not zombies like in Marvel. It's like the anti-life equation. It's like digital. It's in the internet. and the whole world is like internet. So there's no
So-
escape. This was really well done. Really well.
Yeah, so basically what it is that Darkseid infects Cyborg.
Darkseid.
Darkseid infects Cyborg, and basically it's all digital. So if you look at your phone, if you look at a computer, if you look at anything, if you look at anything digital, you get infected. So and obviously, if you're infected, you can bite someone or scratch someone, and they get infected as well. So yeah.
Oh, that was that's going in one of my highlights. of 2020. Oh, that was amazing. You two need a show. Go ahead.
I mean, there's butchering names, but then there's just straight up ignorance.
No, I call it taking a piss. Just like that blue avatar, man. That man say down with that.
Hey, look, universe, we didn't mean to say it. Okay, leave the internet alone. Leave it alone. Okay, cool, let's go. We need to get through the rest of the show.
So
Move on.
Oh my god. Okay, yes.
I will
What's
say, if
next?
you've not read DCeased out there, everybody, I highly recommend this book. I really do.
yeah.
This could happen.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Oh, do you
good.
know? Oh, let me get to that in a bit. Joshua Williamson to conclude Flash run with Finish Line. Have you still reading Flash, Karen?
I still collect Flash.
Words spoken by a true comic book reader.
I can't even remember the last issue I read. Like, I'm actually at a point now where I had to cancel some comic books. And I'm really hoping that The Flash wasn't one of them that I cancelled. Because if this guy's ending his run, I would love to read everything. I would love to have everything.
Yeah.
Sense. I hope I didn't. I don't think I would have cancelled The Flash. But
So, long-time Flash writer Joshua Williamson, who has written the series since Rebirth relaunch in 2006, has announced he will conclude his run on the title with the story title Finish Line. Finish Line will follow the current Legion of Zoom arc and will run from Flash 759 to 762. It centers on Zoom taking over Barry Allen's body. Williamson tweeted art from the arc yesterday with CBR. This story is coming from Newsarama. With CBR following that up with confirmation that Williamson's tenure on Flash is concluding alongside solicitations for the first 2 issues of the Finish Line arc, and covers for all Force 4 can be seen in their link, which I can't give you right now. But yeah, that's Flash and Joshua Williamson. Would you?
Aw, man.
Would you? I was reading Flash, but I dropped off it. But what are you saying about Joshua Williamson's art?
he was really good. Rebirth, as in original Rebirth.
Yeah, 2006. Yeah, 16.
Yeah, that was dope. That was. I mean, that's when they brought back Barry Allen. Although the only thing I don't like is that Wally West had to sit on the back burner. But they brought him back, and then obviously from reading like New Rebirth and all that, he was pretty good. He had some good storylines. He really did. He did do some things where sometimes I got bored.
Yeah.
Like the Flash had to go on this kind of world tour because of the what storyline was that? Where there was like these things going around the world giving people powers. I forgot what that was like. I talked about in the podcast before.
Oh, the with that.
Centipede. I'm just gonna call it centipede.
You read something as well, Rich.
With all the Flash, like they'll go around good giving people powers, yeah, like Flash, like Speed Force powers.
Yeah, that's it. It was that storyline. I didn't really enjoy it that much. He does some things where sometimes I'm like, let's move this along. And to be honest, although he's good, the majority of what I've read is good, but sometimes I get bored.
Yeah.
And what you just said about Reverse Flash taking over his mind, I can't stand those kind of storylines, like where it messes with the status quo in that way. Not because I want it to go. I mean, I do want it to go back to the status quo, but like I flat out just stopped reading Nightwing because he lost his memory. And every time I'm reading something like that, I'm waiting for his memory or the person who's taken up their mind. It's long. It's
Can I just give one example of something that someone that actually did that, and it was actually pretty good, even though I wasn't reading it at the time. But yeah, exactly. Superior Spider-Man.
I was thinking as you were talking, that's the only time I can think of where I think it was a good idea and B, done amazingly. Yeah. But whenever it's done, it's like, you're just waiting for it to come back.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I think it's a shame that he's leaving the run. It's kind of like when Jason Aaron left. Yeah. It's like a big deal. Yeah. It's sad to see him go, really, if I'm honest. But give someone else the opportunity to possibly do something with the Flash.
Yeah. Do something different. Not the same.
Switching his body and whatever. Yeah. That's just not how I would end his run, man. I'll do
some Centipede. I don't know what I
was. Is there a Flash villain with Centipede? I know there's one.
I was actually just it was. Maybe you should create one.
There you go. Centipede.
Centipedes from the Speed Force. Yeah, do that.
There we go.
With 1,000 legs.
There we go.
So, last one in the comic news. Duncan Jones has new Kickstarter comic, Madi. Filmmaker. This is from Newsarama. Filmmaker Duncan Jones, the son of late musician David Bowie, has launched a Kickstarter campaign for his new project, a comic book titled Madi, which he created with a variety of well-known comic creators. Jones wrote Madi alongside Alex DeCampi and a host of artists including Dylan TG, Glenn Fabry, Duncan Figueredo, LRNZ, Ed O'Connor, Andre. There's
Simon.
There's loads of names, and I'm gonna butcher them all.
The last one is Kelly
Fitzpatrick. That was easy enough.
There we go.
Maddie.
I just heard it was Kelly. I was like, who did that to their child?
Kelly. Isn't there a character called Kelly? Or Carrie Kelly? Or Kelly? What's it?
Carrie.
Probably. That sounds like a Marvel thing.
I think it's...
she's DC. DC, actually.
Yeah, she's a Robin, right?
She's Robin, yeah. She was the Robin from... what's that storyline called?
The Robin?
Nighttime.
Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
Yeah.
Kelly, bless.
Many set in the same sci-fi universe as Jones's film Moon and Mute, though a totally standalone story focuses on a special forces agent, the Apokolips Madi, who has one last globe-spanning mission to survive. Here's the official synopsis for the Kickstarter page. Madi Preston, a veteran of Britain's Intelligent Special Operations J Squad unit, is burnt out and up to her eyeballs in debt. She and the rest of her team have retired from the military but are now trapped, having to pay to service and maintain the technology put into them during their years of service. They're working for British conglomerate Liberty Inc. as mercenaries, selling their unique ability to be remote controlled by specialists while in the field, and the depths are only growing as they get injured completing missions. We meet Madi as she decides she's had enough. She will take an off-the-books job that should earn her enough to pay out her and her sister, but when the piece of tech she's supposed to steal turns out to be a kid, and she suddenly blacks out, she finds herself on the run from everyone she's ever known. Damn, this sounds actually pretty sick.
Sounds quite good.
Pretty epic.
Yeah. And if you haven't watched Mute on Netflix, it's actually quite bad. It's actually quite good, sorry.
I was going to say that about Moon, because I haven't seen Mute, but I have seen Moon.
I haven't seen Moon, so I need to watch Moon, and everybody else needs to watch Mute. So yeah. But Mute... haven't seen either. And that's okay. Now Mute's actually good, so yeah. Okay,
we need something in the group to mix it up. Someone who hasn't seen or watched or read something. Otherwise, sometimes watched and read stuff, and you guys ain't seen shit.
Yeah,
So.
exactly.
No, that's half of the DC stuff you're not talking about. I'm just like,
Nah.
centipedes.
Moon.
Yes.
Moon. So with Moon was kind of a effed up film. Actually, I need to watch it again, and it is one of those that you kind of have to watch again because there's some madness going on, and you're like, what the? I wonder, is Mute like that as well? Is there something like?
Yeah, it's kind of there's like a guy who's mute. He just doesn't talk at all whatsoever, and he's looking for someone, and it's just the situation just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like going down the rabbit's hole, but it's really good. Like, it's really well done, and the guy who plays the guy, I've seen him before, but I can't remember his name. But no, it's a really good, like, it's a nice little slow burner, but it's worth the kind of wait kind of thing in gold kind of thing. But yeah, that's not bad.
Cool,
it's not bad.
cool.
It's not bad. I need to watch Moon.
Definitely, man. Alright, so that was the comic news.
Oh, we did it!
Yay!
Now let's get on with the reviews.
Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Yay! Because you never go. This is like your second time going.
Okay, so what did I watch? I recently, as recent as yesterday, watched Justice League Dark Apokolips War.
With Darkseid.
Huh? What's that?
With Darkseid.
With Darkseid, yeah. Do you know what? Some people say that it was better than Endgame. It's not that deep, but it is deep, and it was pretty sick. And I must say, this is what DC does best when it comes to
animated movies,
movies, and this is what they do best. And this film, mate, sick. It is sick.
Yeah.
So it kind of I've kind of been watching them, not really what's the words, linearly. That's not the word I was looking for, but I haven't been watching them linear. I don't know if there's some that do connect, and I think maybe I've watched one that connects to this and one that doesn't. So you get kind of confused.
You know what? With the DC movies, do you know when it connects? And this was very clever what they did, because before a lot of them were like the Bruce Timm movies and a few other directors, but then when they did Flashpoint, it basically New 52 all the animated movies.
Right.
So then after that, they pretty much all connect. I think that was actually very clever.
This actually connects to Flashpoint. So so basically, I'll tell you the first 5 minutes, right? The last one was Superman versus Doomsday, right?
And then they did Reign of the Superman afterwards, which was dope.
Oh yeah, it was Reign of the Superman. And after Reign of the Superman, Lex Luthor joined the Justice League. But just as he joined, they had basically Darkseid was invading the Earth, basically. So this starts off with Superman, Wonder Woman, the Trinity, and Batman bringing literally everybody together, all the heroes together to sort Darkseid out and show, man. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It should be.
It's not like I go around saying and then the fantastic. You know what? I've got something. Got something for
Darkseid. This is the name of the actual show. Dark Side of the Sea. Go ahead.
So Superman brings everyone together, and he gives them the plan of going to Apokolips to F shit up, basically.
You're on Twitch, you can swear.
Yeah, to fuck shit up. So basically, what happens? It's literally. Oh, should I give this spoiler or should I? Nah.
Yeah, just do it. It'll do it. So
It's only like the first 5 minutes. Basically, stuff don't happen as the way it doesn't happen the way it's planned. You don't exactly see what happens in a sense, but throughout the film you do get kind of some flashbacks here and there. But yeah, it was a very, 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 very good animated series. And yeah, I mean, if they had made this into the movie would probably maybe be better than Endgame. But yeah, this.
I was just saying the other day that DC really need to fix up because their animated movies are so on point.
Yeah.
If they probably like have a handful of okay ones, not even necessarily bad ones, but okay ones. But all their animated stuff is just so on point, and I don't know, whoever's running the movie section, they need to just get them and just say you are in charge of live action, because
all they have to do is just do the blueprint of the movies the animated movies, and it'll be a wrap. It'll be a whole wrap. Like, you know what I mean? The 10 years of like, you know.
Don't go get a director. Okay, we're gonna do this animated movie live action, but we're gonna get this director to do. No, get the director of the animated movie. Get everyone involved and say, I want you guys to work on a live action.
Yeah,
it will be epic. It will be.
Like, I mean, one thing as well, just to carry on from that. With I was going to say Greg Berlanti, but that's not who I'm thinking. The Clone Wars guy.
Him. Yeah.
Jeez, what's his name?
Star Wars guy.
Clone Wars.
Yeah, the Clone Wars. When he did Clone Wars, the director.
Oh, I don't know.
Dave Filoni. Like he's been directing a few episodes on The Mandalorian as well, and he's from an animated background as well. So yeah, I mean, it works if you can get directors from some good animated shows and put them on live action. Then oh man, you're gonna get something really good.
If Bruce Timm did a live action Superman or Batman movie, I guarantee it will be the best Superman or Batman movie we've ever seen. That's the other problem I feel, is that then the studio is getting too in the director's business, and secondly, they're not hiring fans. Bruce Timm is like a fan. Quick little
tangent.
The way he got into comic books and stuff is that apparently his parents couldn't even afford to buy him comic books. He always loved Superman, Batman, and all that, but he couldn't afford to buy them, so he used to draw them. He drew them. He used to make up his own stories, and now this man is a millionaire because we got Batman animated series,
there we go.
Animated series, Superman animated series. We got Static Shock. We got Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond. Bruce Timm, ladies and gentlemen, if he did a movie, I am telling you,
it'd be hard.
Yeah. But yeah, go and watch Justice League Dark Apokolips War. It is probably one of the best animated movies you'll see this side of the coronavirus anyway.
Yay! How many geeks?
4.5, man. Definitely 4.5.
Nice.
The only reason why I won't give it more is because I wasn't paying attention to all the connectivity of this universe. So I knew this was coming, but there was a point where I didn't know, like, I kind of didn't know about the Flashpoint bit. So
to be honest, I didn't even realize that they were leading into doing an Endgame. If I'm honest, I had no idea. So, were the Teen Titans in it? Okay,
I
don't want to spoil it. They were in it, but I don't want to spoil it.
I can find that tonight. I might watch that tonight, like straight up.
Watch it tonight.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
Find it. Me and Kai will watch it. We'll be like, hey, they're doing things. And I'm gonna be like,
definitely. If you can watch it tonight, definitely. If you can buy it off Amazon, just
Bye.
Right. Right.
So yeah, what else have you been reviewing? What are we reviewing?
I'm watching it tonight.
We
So
do not endorse.
Anyway, go ahead.
Who's doing reviews? Who else wants to review stuff? Legally reviewing things that we purchased or watched on streaming services or Sky with a paid TV license.
I wanna go.
Hey, straight up, I don't watch TV no more. I've stopped watching.
TV has now become obsolete. I can't remember the last time I watched TV.
You know what? I can't stand TV anymore. I physically cannot stand it. I can't stand the constant adverts. I can't stand the way it's fed to you. Like, show after show. Like I can't do it.
Not
I can't
good.
do it.
We are now we are Digimon now. We are now Digimon.
Exactly.
Digimon.
I think that might be the title of today's episode.
Digimon.
We are now Digimon.
We are Digimon.
We are now Digimon. I love it.
Yay!
Get it, guys. Got a title.
Okay, so if you guys don't know, we never have a title for our episodes. We always create one. We wing it. Depending on how the episode is going, then we will name it.
Well, it works for us. And I have to say, one of the best ones we ever came up with was Surviving Professor X.
I don't even know how we came up with that, but yes. Well done. Well done to Kieran. Well done.
By the way, guys, if you haven't listened or watched our Surviving Professor X, go watch it.
Go watch it.
It was... You will definitely enjoy it.
It's a good giggle. And it's truthful as well. You can't lie after that. It's terrible.
That issue, I feel like I survived.
Yeah, for real.
We're all survivors. Okay.
He's duped everyone.
It was a really touching. Yeah. I feel like it was a very touching and insightful documentary.
Literally. Okay.
Right.
Who's next?
Yes, can I go? Okay, my one is called Glitch Text. Okay, firstly, I was so bored watching stuff. So I was on Netflix and I was just like, what am I gonna watch? And then this little cartoon came up and I was like, Glitch Text. I was like, okay, let's have a look at the trailer. I love a good trailer. I don't care if it's a TV show, I like a good trailer.
I agree.
Played the little trailer, I was like, oh, this is fun. So basically, okay, there's a gaming company called Hanobi. They have gaming station, and obviously they have loads of games, blah, blah. However, sometimes when people don't look after their consoles, like they constrict the air vents, or they overheat the console, or they spill something, you get glitches in the console and in the game. So a glitch is obviously a kind of like a paranormal live monster. That is the game that comes out of the console and tries to kill you. It's basically, so whatever game you're playing, and if you have a glitch, that character comes out, and there are glitch techs that come and sort of. So it's basically kind of like Ghostbusters meets like Men in Black, kind of. Matrix. There we go. That's better. Yeah.
Put Men in Black in there as well. Just make it a part of stew.
My cousin Steely Ricks says it sounds like Sword Art Online. I'm not sure what Sword Art Online is.
Sword Art is good. Sword Art is like a higher level of kind of glitch text. That's more because you know how those anime people do it. They're like, we're putting mythology in here and high level cognitive thinking about the universe, and glitch text is like the dumb kiddie version. But it is still fun kind of thing. So
it's Lou, dumb it down. Sorry.
Yeah, dumb it down. Yeah, but no, it's on Nickelodeon, and I was like, oh, okay. I know Nickelodeon sometimes they have those quirky shows, and I feel like because Netflix picked it up, it's one of those shows that's like it's kind of too much for kids, but it's just right for adult children.
Adult children.
adult children. So we've got these two characters. One's a little Hispanic black boy, and one's she's like a mixed race, like I think she's like Korean white girl. But anyway, and they do a competition, and they end up stumbling into the kind of glitch tech society, and you know the ones obviously the girl, she's kicker. She reminds me of Toph, fucking Avatar, because she's banging and she's great at she's
in the house.
Love it. And she's a really good gamer, and the guy, he's really like what's his name? His name's Five. His name's High Five. His name's High Five. Yeah, and her name is Mishiko. I think her name's Mishiko. Mishiko and Five. And so they've teamed up and they're doing all of these little, adventures and stuff like that. But it's a fun watch. It's only like season 1. There's only 9 episodes. It has I hope they carry it on because it has the potential to be like, like how like Gravity Falls is like a really good kid, like kids show, or it's not on the same par as like Rick and Morty, but it's like Gravity Falls. What else do I want to like put it under as?
The animation looks like what was that old? What was that, like G-Force or something like that? It kind of looks like that, but a lot brighter.
Yeah. The animation is really, really fun. Like, and I there's something about it that's just like, like when you pump your child.
Yeah.
It's really fun watching this.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that.
Yeah, it's like bubblegum fun, but I like the story, and they don't kind of mince things when the characters are going through things. So it's not like, this is gonna be all right. It's like, oh no, I really effed up. It's like, no, okay, cool, we can fix it. It's calm. Like it. That's why I'm like, this is for adult kids. You know what I mean? I just hope that they take it a little bit further because it has the potential to go a bit deeper, like mentally into how we feel as adult children. So no, but it's really good if you get a chance to watch it or put your children in front of the TV. It won't dumb them down because they do a lot of because it's all gaming. Like there's loads of gaming like references, and whenever they're in trouble, it's really cool. They're like just say there's like a big glitch monster, and it's like, oh my days. They always shout that. It's like nerds come and help me. Like it's brilliant. It's great. It's great. It's so
on
good.
another note, I think I did mention this to you earlier. I did end up watching Hollow. I'm on season 2 now, and that series is actually pretty dope, man. It's pretty good.
It's good, right?
It's sick.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's sick. So I think after this, I might give this a try as well. Glitch sex.
Yeah, give a little glitch try. I'm here for your cartoon needs.
I want to add glitch to
your list.
Mi lista.
Ever long list.
Mi lista. Hey, I'm steadily on my Netflix list. It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Steadily combing through that list. I'm actually quite proud. It's combing through that list. Although I keep finding shows and then loving shows and then watching them twice. That's my new thing.
Yeah, I haven't done that in quite a long time, and I kind of quickly forget what shows are, like what the shows were.
I'm doing it. I'm like, nope. I want a new season. I'm watching this again.
Yeah, no. I've been having an itch like a couple of days now of watching B-Star, so I just have to get it out of the way now.
B-Star! Yeah,
B-Star!
I love that.
B-Star.
You know the way I say it, B-Stars. It's not even a show like that. It's called B-Stars.
B-Stars.
I like B-Stars.
City Ricks is asking, has anyone watched Cannon Busters?
Of course we've watched Cannon Busters. Yes, I have. Watch Cannon Busters.
I really tried with that show. And I wanted to support
hit and miss
it.
For some people.
I wanted to support it. I really did. But boy, I'll finish it eventually, but when everything
dies down,
better.
The animation looks good, man. It looks like
I'm not animation wise, it's sick. Action wise, it's pretty good. Story wise and character wise,
yeah. I mean, like obviously the main character, he sounds like Spike from.
Yeah, it looks like Spike from.
He looks like Spike speaking, but that guy is no Spike.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's the thing of like it's the first season for me. Like it's the first season, so I'm like, all right, cool. He's kind of fine. He's trying to find his own feet. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to like in terms of the writer or whatever. Obviously. Proper culture, but like he's trying to find his own feet. So I kind of give it a blag. So I'm like, all right, cool. But now, if you're gonna do a second season, it has to be like authentic. You need to boost up the story. Like the story has potential
and characters.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It does have potential, but it's just like you have to be authentically original with it. You know what I mean. You can't cherry pick off different things. Like the girl in it, she's the princess. She's like a I'm not gonna give it away because it's really good. But she's there to help. Yeah, she's friends with the prince. Sorry, I don't think she's a princess. I think she's a princess. But like, yeah, she's friends with the prince. Her story is more interesting than anybody else's story.
So funny because when I was thinking to myself, when she's done talking, you said exactly what I want to say. Yeah. When I'm thinking about that show, her storyline with that kingdom and all of that, that's sick. But the main part with the wannabe Spike Spiegel, I just wasn't feeling it. I feel like if I was girls anime, that would have been sick.
That's what Stilly's saying. He says the problem is that there's no depth to the story, so there's no connection to the characters.
Yeah. So, but when
the theme song is hard though.
Like, watch it. Of course, we've got music down pat. You know what I mean?
We own that shit.
Yeah, of course. Cannon Busters, Samurai Champloo. You know, I mean, the music is always great. Like, it's amazing. Right. But but Glitch Text gets like a 3, just because obviously it's really kiddie, and I felt bubblegummy, so it was just a fun watch. So, but 9 episodes, season 1, go watch it.
Sweet. What have you been watching, reading, Kieran?
Yeah.
There's so much I want to talk about. Okay, we only got so much time, so I'm going to talk about the comic book that I read today. But and afterwards, I will briefly go into Crisis, even though it's 5 months old.
Okay.
So I read X-Men plus Fantastic Four issue 3, which, by the way, looking at the end of the comic again, issue 4 comes out April 29th.
At least 21 days ago.
Only got this last
20, 21, 29, 20.
I got this sent to me last week. Anyways, let's look at our heroes. So we got Cyclops. We got some X-Men on one of their planes, and they're about to intercept. They're basically chasing Fantastic Four because you remember Fantastic Four invaded Krakoa.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
But now they're kind of chasing them to Latveria, where Professor Doom lives.
Okay.
So I see your face twitching.
Professor Doom.
Look.
Yeah.
This is the dark side. Professor Doom, Dr. Doom. There we go. Look at him.
That's how it feels.
You dare speak that way of Dr. Doom?
Oh my face.
Side, my favourite villain.
Well, obviously he's not your favourite villain if you can't even pronounce his name.
Oh gosh. You not got me fanning myself. Stop it.
Is it?
Oh, okay.
Blue. It's fine. I'm gonna have to struggle. You guys are gonna have to bear with me.
No, can you go get your apple pop, please?
No, I don't know where it is. Fine.
Send the child.
But I don't know. It's cool. It's fine. Hang on a sec, guys. I have to see the brown one.
Okay. There's a brown one. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi. Okay, go. Oh my God, I didn't breathe when I was doing that.
Do you want to hear this? Basically, I'm just going to skip to the point where they land on the island. Fantastic Four and the X-Men, they land on the island, they have a fight, and they argue about Franklin Richards.
Uh-huh.
And then Kitty comes and Dr. Doom comes and is basically saying, Kitty says he made it. What?
No, Young comes like, yeah, you got it right.
Oh, I can't be bothered, man. Almost died, right? It's like,
Kitty comes, yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't even want to review this anymore, man.
No, go on, review, go on.
Right, so Dr. Doom and Kitty Pryde come, and while the X-Men are arguing over what to do with Franklin Richards, Kitty comes and is like, look, everything's going to be fine. I made a deal with Dr. Doom to help Franklin, and the mutants get to stay here. And Magneto's like, how dare you? You don't have the right to do that. He's like, well, I'm team leader. I made a call. And then Professor K backs what the call that he made. So then Beast decides to go with Reed Richards to Dr. Doom's place and to check out everything, to make sure that everything Dr. Doom says is true and that it won't harm anyone. Now, one thing that I liked when Dr. Doom was, when they were analyzing this, is that apparently, where's that bit? Apparently, there is something in mutants called. There's like, okay, let me read a bit to you.
Is it a centipede?
There's like this kind of. So anyone who's like a mutant or a mutant or a mutate or who's just superpowers has this energy thing inside them, which actually leads to another universe, which apparently Dr. Doom has decided to call Doom Particles.
Doom Particles. Man.
No, he calls them Von Doom Particles, and Beast was like, yeah, of course you do. And I love it where Reed Richards is like, yeah, the scientist Dr. Regina Cow has already been working on finding that source. She called them God Power. Doom's like, yeah.
Doom Particle.
But it basically looks like it's a solid thing to help Franklin Richards. He really wants to go through with it. He stands up to his dad, and because he's like, Reed Richards is like, Franklin, I don't think you should do this. Still treating him kind of like a kid. Want him to do it because there's a slight risk that if he goes through with it, that he could lose his powers forever. But the Beast disagrees. It's like, well, if he doesn't do it, he will lose his powers gradually forever anyway. So Franklin's like, and I think he's got a bit of a bruised ego as well, because like Dr. Doom's the one helping his son. And Franklin was like, either you won't help me or blah blah. And it's like, it's not that I didn't want to help you, it's just that I felt like it was dangerous and blah blah blah. And then, it cuts to, which is my favorite bit. I need to find this bit.
Man, I thought I read this, but I didn't. I missed this one, man.
It cuts to a bit where
Order.
Charles Xavier and Dr. Doom are talking. I'm going to read you this dialogue.
Okay.
This is the best. Xavier's like, what are you doing? And Doom's like, doing? And he's like, oh, where is it? Yeah, Latveria has not accepted Krakoa. And basically, Xavier's like, you haven't accepted Krakoa. And blah, blah, blah. And he's like, then Dr. Doom just has his best dialogue. I love his dialogue. So he says, while I have little respect for traditional diplomats, Doom at least recognizes that they are the supposed exceptional examples of an underwhelming populace. You, however, have decided to make all of your citizens free to do what they will in countries that come begging for your plants. Here's where it gets good. Make no mistake, Doom recognizes the country of Krakoa, but I do not recognize that having claws protrude from your body makes you worthier than a human who dedicates their life to diplomacy and the study of culture. It is insulting. You are insulting, Charles. With this pretense of superiority, Doom will help this young man because it is what Doom wishes to do with his power that he has.
Damn.
Put the compliment down.
See, that's why you like Doom, and this is why I like good writers writing Doom, because
that was brilliant. You're reading the comic book, you just expect the usual.
Yeah.
Bit of dialogue where it's just like, what?
Sick,
all
man.
been on the side of like the mutants being, because I feel like, as you know, we're relatable, but don't take that the wrong way. But I just mean the struggles they go through. Anyway, but
nice.
The artwork on Xavier. I wish I could show you this. It's, when they do long panels like that where it's just so you just see the bottom half of Professor Xavier's mouth. The artwork on his mouth after Doom said what he said was brilliant. I feel like I'm not even an artist, but I feel like an artist is only going to notice that. Most people, that's just going to go right past them. The detail on his mouth after what Doom said was brilliant. And bear in mind, Professor Xavier's wearing that helmet as well.
Yeah. So you can only see his mouth.
Yeah, but you can see so much expression just from a little bit of his face.
Sick, man. I'm gonna. Yeah, I've still got. I need to read that, man.
He's like, I'm reading that tonight.
Not tonight, though.
I try not to spoil too much, but basically, while Beast, Doom, hang on, who is it? Beast and Xavier go to help. Oh, and Richards go to help Franklin. Or the others had to stay on the main part of the island. Right. They weren't allowed to. They weren't allowed to enter the city. But obviously, Wolverine, Emma Frost, Magneto not trusting Doom, and Kitty not trusting Doom are like, you know, the moment he helps Franklin, he's got his ulterior motive. We need to strike now.
Yeah.
Mutants out while they're busy doing whatever. So some of them decided to stay on the beach and watch the robot, make sure the robots don't go after them.
Yeah, Doombots.
So there's, you know what? The team was Magneto, Xavier, and Emma Frost, and they go to this. They go into the town and they find these kids living in a house. They're mutants, and they go to help them.
Yeah.
And I'm just with my fingers because Richard, I want you to read it. Doombots.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, they weren't Doombots, were they?
Oh no.
Yeah, okay. No. That's where I left off on issue 2. Issue 2 was that reveal that they're not Doombots.
Doom is very clever. So they sends these Doombots to go after the team in the city. Wolverine gets taken up into the air by one, and he's like, well, he's Wolverine, it's a robot, he's just gonna cut it up and safely. When he landed, he was like, oh shit, there's blood.
Oh dear.
Crafty Doom is like, your friends have violated my laws, they've killed some of my citizens. That was so sweet. They've killed some of my citizens. I can't express.
I think I might read this tonight, man. Yeah, man. I think I will be reading this tonight.
At the end, he sends giant Doombots that look awfully
Yeah.
It was a sick issue. It was so sick.
I'm gonna read that tonight, man.
Richard's like, I'm having a long bath.
I've read probably in about 2 months, and this was such a good place to kind of
come back
pick
to.
Up.
Yeah.
And because this is in all of comic books right now, I would say X-Men and Fantastic Four and 4 is really what I'm interested in. So I'm glad that this comic sent to me. It was so good. Out of 5 weeks, I'm gonna give this one a 4.9. It was really good.
Nice.
So sick. It was so sick. And like you said, when a good writer writes a dope character really, really well, from that dialogue of Doom, and you know, I can't remember what the word was. But you know how there's this stigma, maybe not so much these days because everybody and their cousins read comic books now, but growing up, there was this. I remember being in parents' evening, and my form tutor was like, "Oh, Kieran's this and that, and he doesn't read." And I said, "I read comic books all the time." And my mum was like, "Yeah, but why don't you read a proper book?" And today, I wish I could find the page, but there was a word that I had never seen before in my life. To Google it, I Googled the word, still didn't understand it. That's the comic book, people. In this book, which I'm reading, it's like the most basic English. This is really cool. But this comic book with less pages had the shit in it. It had, do you know what I mean?
Nice.
Google words. So 4.9 for writing, artwork, character development.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. Thanks for that, man. Yeah, it's been a minute since we did a comic book review actually. So
I know.
hopefully now, we can. Well, the pull list is back, but unfortunately we don't have any Marvel stuff on there because Marvel hasn't got their act together yet. But yeah, hopefully now we can get more reviews up like that because that sounds sick, man.
Yeah.
I was quite happy to review that as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So it was such a sick comic book. Rich, if you can read that tonight.
Yeah, well, I've got a lot of rendering to do, so yeah, I've definitely got the time to do that.
Thank you, Brown Asthma Pump. Woohoo!
Yeah, isn't it? Secret power.
My blue one is now. What was I going to say? Real quick, I want to slightly touch on Crisis on Infinite Earths. It wasn't that good.
The end.
Is it because you didn't watch the Supergirl episode, the Batwoman episode? Though?
No, I did watch the Batwoman one. I found it.
Yeah.
Somewhere. I couldn't.
I located it.
I located it somewhere. I did watch it on my TV.
There we go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a button for that. There you go.
But there was things about it that they did that I wasn't happy about. Like I was so excited to see. One of the episodes actually had, which I thought was funny. I was like, wait, I swear I had to rewind it to see. They had, remember that show, Birds of Prey?
Yeah.
Had that in there. They whacked out that universe. I was like, it was crap anyway.
Oh dear.
Whacked that universe out.
Oh no.
Then they went to Smallville.
Okay.
This was I'm a huge Smallville fan. Was hit and miss. I'll be honest, the whole show was hit and miss, but just what that show did, I just thought was great.
Yeah.
And what they did, I even got some of the graphic novels of Smallville season 11, which takes place after season 10.
Yeah.
What they did with this Clark Kent was upsetting.
Yeah, I felt that as well. I was like, oh, what?
It was a huge disappointment. It's like Tom Welling just did not want to be Superman at all, and that kind of cheapened.
Do you know? I'd say listen to Matthew Rosenbaum's. He played Lex Luthor. He does a podcast actually, and he gets he does a podcast, and he gets those guys on. Well, he gets Tom Welling on a couple times, and the lady who played Lana. So they're actually still good friends. But yeah, they go into detail. They talk about that and talk about other things. But it's very interesting when he has Tom Welling on, because they actually talk about what happened during the time of making it, and it seems like they did really enjoy it. But yeah, like you were saying, that upset me as well, what they did with him, because for me it felt like sorry to cut you off, but it felt like what I think maybe you're gonna say is that all those years, the 10 years that we was watching it, we were waiting for him to be Superman and fly and do the Superman shizzle that and have the suit and everything, and then when he came back, it was just like, well,
I gave
nah.
It was just really disappointing, because do you know what? I knew the instant the new Superman said, because he saw Clark chopping wood.
Yeah.
And then he said the new Superman, the CW, they're both CW, aren't they? The new CW Superman is like, I can do that with one hand. And I was like, oh, please don't tell me he gave up his powers.
Yeah.
And he says to Lex, he gave up his powers. And I was like, and the thing is, I already felt cheated. I actually really like season 10. Season 10 just got me excited. For the future possibility of this character, even though I know season 10 was the end.
But he
didn't wear the costume at the end of season 10. We didn't see him as Superman.
Well, he kind of did, but even that was.
But we didn't see him like fully. He wasn't. He's not like the CW one where we're seeing him standing there, not doing anything, just talking, wearing the costume.
Yeah.
And and it's like that was just such a disappointment. Like, that was the cameo I was waiting for. And it was just, I smiled the whole way through. It was only kind of like in retrospect, because I was like happy to see them. Like, anyway, so that was that. And then we had Kevin Conroy, the Batman. My Batman, finally be a live action Batman. And he was a murderer. Like, I would have, it's like basically they had to go into this reality to find the Batman of the future, because she's a totem or whatever, a spider totem or whatever it was they called it in Crisis. And it was a long-winded way of saying that Batwoman was that totem. And I would have preferred it if it was like she went to see her cousin, they caught up, he gave her a pep talk, and then she goes,
and that's it.
And it turns out she's the but why did he have to be a fallen kind of Batman who killed the Joker, Superman, and I just didn't like that they did that. There's something else, a few other things that they did where I was just like why?
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was fun. No, that's the other thing. They didn't fight anyone. They didn't actually fight. They had a fight in the first episode, which was the Supergirl episode, which was a horrible.
Anything with Supergirl is just trash.
I like her character. I really do. As in, I feel like this girl plays Supergirl well, and whenever she's in Arrow or The Flash or any of those other shows, she's dope. Her show sucks ass, major ass. Crusty, unwashed, shit-stained.
We're just like, can I edit that out?
Yeah, no, it's no, I know what you're saying. It's I was thinking about this the other day as well, like when you was talking about like with Black Lightning and Supergirl and Batwoman, is that they kind of go too much into a subject or they just ham it up too much, man, and it's like
all three shows, including Black Lightning, I would agree. Definitely, that's why I didn't like it in the first place. They all do it, and
even like with Arrow and Flash, they don't really. They do a little bit of it, just a tiny bit, but they don't. Yeah. They don't go ham on certain things, and it's not.
Yeah.
But Supergirl and all these other ones, they just go crazy, and it goes to the stage where you're just like, is this even about Is this even about character development, or is it?
This latest season, they've changed her suit for it to be like a pantsuit.
Yeah. So
that she's like modern feminist. I'm like, so feminists don't wear skirts and dresses at all.
Do you know what? And actually, there was one thing as well that I was watching, because this is what we're going way over time actually, but
I'll say how quick you gotta say afterwards, and then
what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. He was on Collider. Jeez. But basically, what he was saying about fudge. Go on, Karen. You. I can't. My mind's gone.
Basically, they just didn't fight anybody. They only fought somebody in the first episode. They had a fight in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And it's like, for the majority of it, it was just talking, which was a bit. And it's like there was this fight where Lex Luthor got powers, and he fought Supergirl. We didn't even see it. I was like, it's like it was happening behind that window down there, but we're up here, and you can see Supergirl quickly fly up and do something and go back. While
what is the point?
This one character is having a conversation. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, and then the other thing is, at the end, it shows the universe is rebirthing. I'm like, oh, so you saved all your CGI for that? Is that it?
Did a Game of Thrones. You put all the money on the dragons.
I'll quickly say the things that I did like is that by the end of it,
it finished. No joke.
What I was going to say, all the universes, all the worlds, like Supergirl and Black Lightning, they're all on one Earth now. So I like that. And every time that they've done a crossover, it never... Smallville, when Smallville, they had the Superman, whenever he teamed up with all the other heroes, it felt to me like a Justice League. It always felt like a Justice League, like they were starting out. In Arrow, it's never... I don't know if you felt this, Rich, but it's never felt like the Justice League to me. Not once.
No.
It was the first time, by the end of it, not during, but by the end of it, it felt like, okay, this is their Justice League.
Yeah.
And I even like they now have the Hall of Justice, and they all got the chairs and the table with their...
Yeah, I mean, I think it did, but it didn't in the same sense. It did because it kind of, they had all of that, but it didn't because they didn't have Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman. It felt out of place in a sense.
Well, that's the thing.
Then,
in this
right at the end, when they had that little Easter egg, it felt like it was like the old school cartoon, 60s cartoon kind of, and then you're like, I think that's probably why I stopped watching it as well, actually, because it kind of felt more like that.
Dated,
yeah. It felt more like, this is the this is the DC universe, but we're kind of messing about, kind of thing. But then when you watch Titans, Swamp Thing, and
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol, thank you again. And then you watch even the animated shows. It's like, well, actually, this is the kind of DC that I want, man.
Yeah.
And sorry, one thing I was saying that I forgot before was basically John Campea had a reaction. He was ranting about Robert Pattinson because he didn't want to do any exercises or build up to be Batman. And there was, I actually forgot to put this in the. I actually forgot to put this in the.
Put in the work.
Put that on the list for next week, and I will go in on that one.
But he was basically going in, and one thing he did mention was I forgot I think it's putties he calls them. Basically, you have putties in WWF, or WWE now. But putties are characters, the wrestlers that come in and get beaten up. Just so the other characters look good, the main stars look good, and that's what they did with Superman. In a sense, is that they brought him into Supergirl, and they had a fight, and he says, "Oh, you," and when he was, because he left Earth to go to Krypton with Lois Lane and that, and he was like, "Oh, Earth doesn't need me; they've got you," and things like that, and it just seems like, well. Yeah, it just seems like they've done that with those characters, with Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Yeah. They're finding lesser characters to kind of take their place, and they're bigging up these characters, and just I don't know. It just.
You know what? The funny thing is with Smallville. Sorry, I know we're going over time. With Smallville,
we can cut the last bit out and just end. Go. This is fine.
Even though they didn't have Batman and Wonder Woman. It still felt like the Justice League. And what I liked, there was one episode, it's like they would refer to them. Like there was one episode where Chloe went away for a while and she came back and she said to Clark something like, I met a man with gadgets.
Yeah.
Something like, I met a man with gadgets that will blow your mind, and I met this wondrous woman who can do X, Y. And I was like, at least they're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
that is in this CW.
But I think that's the thing. Like, we're from that generation that had those little teasers. That had those little Easter eggs.
Substance.
Yeah, but I think we're tired of that now. We don't want that little...
Yeah, we want the whole thing.
We want the whole thing now. That's 20 years ago, mate. That was like...
Yeah.
I was just... At least now, like with the CW thing, the Superman, he's getting his own TV show.
Yeah,
so... That's happening. One other thing that I liked, real quick, is that... you remember... I think it was their first crossover where it was when Flash did Flashpoint and he screwed up time. And John Diggle
lost his
son.
Yeah.
I like that now. Not only does he have his son, no, he lost his daughter.
He lost his daughter. I had his son.
And then only does he have his son back now, but he also has his daughter, so he's got both of them. So I was really happy to see that. Yeah, that's it. There was less that I liked than the stuff that I didn't like, but it was enjoyable for what it was. If I was going to give that anything out of 5, I'll probably give it 2.
All right.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
As my brother would say. It was entertaining.
All right. Let's quickly speed rant this.
Speed rant.
Yeah. This comics pull list.
Okay.
Oh God, I forgot about that. I thought we were
not done yet.
No, we're not done yet. We're nearly done. So comics pull list is back. We've got a few comics. We've got DC Comics, Dynamite Entertainment, and Dark Horse. No Marvel this week. No Marvel at all. So good news, comics are back. So number 1 and 2 on the pull list, we've got DCeased. Number 1, Hope at World's End, issue 1. And at number 2, we got DCeased Unkillables, issue 3 of 3. So Hope at World's End, the anti-life equation has infected over 1 billion people on Earth. Heroes and villains have fallen in the immediate aftermath of the destruction of Metropolis. Superman and Wonder Woman spearhead a plan to try to stem the tide of infection, preserve and protect survivors, and develop a plan for what's next in the Earth's darkest hour. Heroes will bring hope. Unkillables in this epic finale of the next chapter in the DCeased saga has heroes and villains collide with one epic purpose: to escape the coming of the infected population of Gotham City and the monstrous Wonder Woman. It's time to ride the Fury Road one final time to survival. Number 3, we've got Red Hood Outlaw issue 45, read by Scott Lobdell, Chris Cross, Dan Mora and Scott Hanna. Red Hood, Artemis and Bizarro have battled many threats together, but they've never faced a veritable army of the damned, which is what is happening during the protests on the streets of Korak. Has the Untitled prepared to strike at the heart of humanity? At the same time, Artemis has to go sword to word with Essence. As their enemy gathers its forces, it is clear that the Dark Trinity needs to expand its roster and fast.
Ooh, dun, dun, dun.
Oh, maybe they'll go and get. Oh no, he's dead. I've been waiting. I've just been waiting for years for them just to add Roy Harper and Starfire to this Outlaws thing, so they got the whole crew. I can't wait for that. They'll do it one day. They've teased it, but they'll do it. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's that?
Red Sonja, issue 15 by Mark Russell, Bob Q, Jay Lee, Dynamite Entertainment. To cut and to bleed, the epic continues. Sonja the Red can save her kingdom by abdicating her throne. If she agrees to lead a man's army and kill indiscriminately, then her people will be fed. By Mark Russell, who did DC's Year of the Villain, and Bob Q, who did Captain America. And finally, we have Strayed, trade paperback. In the far future, military-industrial complex reigns over all humanity and actively destroys distant alien worlds. The galaxy's only hope can be found through an unlikely pair, an astral projecting cat named Lou and his loving owner Kira, trading 9 lives for the well-being of billions. Their revolt is battle for love, friendship, compassion, and the soul of humanity. Collects the 5-issue miniseries. If you're looking for a story in a league all its own, you just found it. Now get it and read it.
Damn right, just get it.
Yeah,
There's an
go
astral
out.
projected cat looking after you. There we go.
We'll get some comics and read them and tell us what you think, because we're always telling you what we think. And we want to know what you think when we're telling you what we think. Then we can all think.
Yeah.
About what we think about comics.
Yeah, guys.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said.
Honestly, if you guys, just let us know what you guys have been reading. Let us know in the comments. It helps us. Honestly, it does help us. And
Just put a comment, even if you just put the letter I.
There you go.
yeah,
Just throw something in there.
There we go.
Come on, man. It takes 2 seconds.
That's
There
it.
we
What the
go.
one?
Oh, we're in quarantine. We need stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. So yes, we've come to the end of the show.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us in this nice little sweat of coronavirus that we have going on right now. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Remember, if you want some of our merch, go to teesprings.com. TEE Springs. Yeah, get some merch, get a t-shirt, little vest, little hoodie. If you want to be, edgy, and get you 20% off. The Source 20. Yeah.
Yep.
Rich did that for everybody. The Source 20. This is what you need to do.
Exactly.
And
We don't want you to pay full price. Over here at the Source, we care about your pocket. Although we're trying to get in, we don't want to take everything. So please use the Source 20 to get your 20% discount.
That's
And remember,
right.
Indeed.
Don't forget to bring a sandwich.
All right.
Well,
Love and
see
peace,
you next
people.
week.
Peace out, everybody.
We won't be on next week, actually.
No.
Oh yeah, because we're doing things. We got shit to do. We got.
We
business
have.
to do.
We've
But I ain't got
some
nowhere.
Yeah.
stuff. And plus, stuff. So we'll be next
The
week
week after.
after the
Yeah.
week of next week.
So you got
that bit.
this week and next week to tell us, Stilly Ricks, my cousin Chris,
Yeah.
He says you don't read the comics I read, so let us know what you read. Yeah, let us know what you read, and then tell us if it's good or not, or we'll have a look. And we shall research.
I'm ignorant. I got an open mind and an open heart.
Yeah.
So just tell me something. It might sound dope to me.
Exactly.
I don't always have to read something. Okay, you might be reading some dope ass gangster mafia comic, and I might be like, damn, that shit sounds shit.
Yeah.
That sounds
There we go.
That shit sounds dope. Let me know.
See, we got someone who watches Cannon Busters here, and I don't watch it, but Isha watches it, so you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
We got DC.
We've already said
we got Indie.
we're done.
Yeah, we're done. Peace out, Pete.